The Great Debate Series. Flash in the pan.
Yes, not going biggest bust. We're going to try to put a more positive spin on this, Perloff.
Yeah.
And call Johnny Manziel a flash in the pan. Now, I think he qualifies, someone who had the highest of highs in, his career at Texas A&M, winning the Heisman Trophy, and then he does get drafted in the first round by the Cleveland Browns, and then basically it all goes downhill from there.
Definitely. We could get into Hamilton Tiger Cats. None of that worked. So he's, in many ways, the ultimate flash in the pan because his flash was so bright. Yeah. He just took over the sports world. Okay,
you want to go first? Who's your big flash in the pan?
My flash in the pan, like Johnny Manziel, completely took over the sports world. Now, this is going back a little bit, but Buster Douglas, who famously beat Mike Tyson February 23rd, 1990, nobody had gotten even 5 rounds with Tyson in over 4 years. Tyson just killed everybody. This was supposed to be a tune-up fight for Evander Holyfield in Japan, and Douglas shocked the world. We might have found out later that Tyson was going through a couple things, but Douglas shocked the world by knocking out Mike Tyson. And then he had the greatest month of anybody's life ever. I remember he was on Letterman. He refereed a match between Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage.
That's cool.
He became a full-time celebrity. So you might ask, what happened to his career, Maggie? So he had one more fight. He didn't want to mess with Tyson again because Tyson had tried to say that the fight was wrongfully decided for Douglas. Anyway, so he fought Holyfield. He kind of came out. He was the heaviest he'd ever been for a fight.
Yep.
Georgia, 46 pounds, lasted 3 rounds. Holyfield obviously was not messing around at that point in his career in 1990. Then he retired. It was over.
Yeah.
So he basically beat Tyson and then went away, although I think he's always been one of those names that people always like.
Buster Douglas is a great one. The 30 for 30, 42-1. Those were the odds against him in that Tyson match. He was a 42-1 fave. And the other thing about that we learned about in that 30 for 30, right, was that Buster Douglas, I think his mother had just passed away, or grandmother, and he was like, grief-stricken, so he wasn't eating very much. He was still working out like a madman. He was like singularly focused because of a tragedy that happened. And yes, you alluded to Mike Tyson has later said that it was like some kind of he was some kind of like
so many different
thing that he was up all night having sex or something, and that's why he didn't perform his best against Douglas.
I think his entire life was imploding. Let's hear the end of the fight against Tyson.
Oh, nice uppercut by Buster Douglas. Look at this. He's knocked down for the first time in his career. Mike Tyson hits the canvas. He's in big trouble. He's not going to make it. Unbelievable. Buster Douglas is the new heavyweight champion of the world.
What a call. I mean, and it matches the moment, that call, because it was that big of a shock.
Anyone who doesn't understand, who wasn't there, how formidable Mike Tyson was. It was like nothing in any sport. He was the scariest athlete I've ever seen. I mean, they're scary. But he would go out there. What did he beat? Marvis Frazier in 30 seconds? He was the most ferocious fighter of my lifetime by far. The fact that you could not only hang with him, but beat him, then unfortunately, Tyson went south, too.
Yeah.
He's shooting not so long after he bit Evander Holyfield's ear. Nothing good happened until he made that dramatic comeback in The
Hangover.
In The Hangover. And he's been in a Broadway show. Everything's good now. But Buster Douglas is my ultimate flash in the pan.
Man, it's a good one, but I think I can beat it. If you're asking who is the greatest flash in the pan, it's a man who even has the nickname that no one will ever forget. Linsanity. Jeremy Lin. Great flash in the pan. Let's hear it.
Tied at 87. Lin with the ball in his hands. Fans on their feet. 5, 4. Lin for the win. Got it.
Jeremy Lin, the out-of-nowhere story where he's from Northern California, from the Bay Area. No colleges would offer him a scholarship. He ends up going to Harvard, of course. Doesn't get drafted, goes into the G League, bouncing around all these different teams, latches on to the Knicks in 2012. where he helped a team that was really at a crux of their season in February after the All-Star break and helped propel them towards a playoff appearance. And I believe, actually, they won a playoff series, right? In 22. No, they did not. They lost. Okay. He's inserted into the starting lineup, and they win 7 straight. He gets 2 Sports Illustrated covers back-to-back. He's Time Magazine and makes the Time 100 of one of the most influential players in the world as a Taiwanese American playing in the NBA. He worked perfectly in Mike D'Antoni's system. D'Antoni ends up getting fired in March of that season. They bring in Mike Woodson, elevate Mike Woodson. It didn't end up really having the same effect. Jeremy Lin gets a knee injury, has a torn meniscus, gets surgery, and never plays for the Knicks again. Now, Lin did go on to keep playing in the NBA. Perloff played for Houston and the Lakers and Charlotte and Brooklyn and Atlanta, and he even won a title with the Raptors, even though he was on the bench.
Is he not playing anymore?
He's playing in Beijing, I think.
Oh, okay.
But obviously never even came close to reaching the heights of what happened in those magical 25 days or whatever that Jeremy Lin took over the sports world. Linsanity, greatest flash in the pan.
Yeah, I was at SI when they did back-to-back covers. This could sound like I'm being wet blanket, but part of it was Pablo Torre, who wrote both stories, went to Harvard with Jeremy Lin and had already done a feature on him. So they had these great features on Jeremy Lin and this writer who knew him. So that helped with the back-to-back covers. Is that fair to say?
Listen,
There's
that
no
was
way,
the biggest story in sports.
Yeah, but back-to-back covers, we're talking about, I've looked at the list. That's like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Dirk happened to get back-to-back covers, but it's incredibly rare. No NBA player mid-season have ever gotten back-to-back covers. So it was in a ridiculously high echelon of athletes with that honor. In part, it just sort of worked out that way. And I don't think anything else was going on. So Jeremy Lin was incredibly, incredibly impactful. Do you know why I like this so much? Because it came and went so fast.
I know. See, that's the definition of the flash of the pan.
So
now,
fast.
For Lin, like for Jeremy Lin, he, like I said, he did keep playing, but it was never like to the point. Like he was all, and listen, got a chance to interview him. Great guy from all accounts, has used his platform in a positive way. Had to deal with a lot of unnecessary, ridiculous backlash at that time. Like people really, some people did not handle his success very well because as an Asian American, and there were a lot of weird commentary around him that was not warranted. So he dealt with a lot of BS at the time, and yeah. Very memorable. Also has a documentary about him as well. There you go.
My counter argument, I'm looking at his stats. Dude put up some numbers in the NBA. Not bad. How many double digits he averaged double digits 7 times in his NBA career. That's amazing.
I know, but not many playoff appearances until he caught on with the Raptors and they won the title.
But he was like at 11.2, 11.7. Like, so he was never.
Barely double digits.
Yeah. He never was putting those 40 burgers up again.
Okay, time to go to Rich Ackerman, our resident sports historian here. Flashes in the pan.
I have 3 for you.
Okay, go.
Hit us.
Timmy Smith, Washington Redskins, running back.
227. How many yards was it? Do you know?
I think it was 202.
Oh, okay.
Then wanted a new contract, so he held out, reported late and overweight, and that was it. Another running back, short time later, Icky Woods.
Yeah, Icky Woods is on the list of almosts.
Yep, and I'll go back.
Icky Woods, it was amazing. It was like 1,100 yards rushing, right, that rookie season.
Yep.
And then a combined like 500 yards the rest of his career.
Tore up his knee, and that was it.
Yep.
And that
204 yards. You were right there.
By 2.
Yeah. By the way, Icky though had a dance that lasts for a lifetime. So I don't care how many thousand
Got
yards
a commercial of
he's
this.
Yeah. He's good.
And the last one will be Mark the Bird Fidrich.
Yep. Mark Fidrich had an incredible rookie year and never won more than 6 games the rest of his career.
Over 250 innings pitched at the age of 21. He made 29 starts his rookie year. The rest of his career, he made 27.
Yeah, it's wild. So we had a couple others that were sort of near the list. Perloff had this good poll.
I'm looking at his numbers now. Jonas Gray of the Patriots, who had this amazing game. I'm trying to find out exactly how many yards. Did he have 200 yards?
It was over 200 yards and 5 touchdowns.
In one game? Yeah.
Against the Indianapolis Colts.
Then he was late for practice the next week.
Overslept.
And he never really played again for the Patriots or anyone else.
Yeah.
Which goes to show you that's Belichick. It also is
Notre Dame guy.
Maybe why we're not paying running backs this segment shows with Timmy Smith and Jonas Gray.
Icky Woods, too.
And Icky Woods.
Another one, Brady Anderson, who had an all-time season, but just
He had a lengthy career, though.
he did, but never
like that. Though.
never reached the heights of 1996. You know what was going on in 96? Guys were looking real big. I don't know. He was probably on steroids.
Ash got a good point. He had 3 All-Stars appearances. He was like a thin, fast guy at most of his career. Then boom. I was like a Luis Gonzalez like that, sort of one just ridiculous season.